Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Gators Insider, presented by Talon Wealth. With Gators Insider Chris Harry, I'm Sean Kelley. Just one game to review here for the Gators men's basketball team, but man, it was a good one. A home win over Alabama to get the Gators now to 7-2 in Southeastern Conference play. The Gators, of course, are in the middle of their bye week and resume action this Saturday in a first-place matchup with Texas A&M. We'll preview that game as well. Chris, though, this bye week couldn't have come at a better time. This has been a grueling stretch of the schedule. A little bit of rest here, a little bit of a chance to take a breath, but it's a lot easier to do that after the way the Gators played at home against Alabama.
Yeah, and I know you said we're only looking at one game to review, but it's almost, you almost want to take the last two games in their entirety because Florida played the games so magnificently, winning by 47 at South Carolina, which we talked about last week, and then having that just dominant performance against Alabama, the points in the paint, fast break points. I mean, they did everything right. It was clearly their best all-around performance of the season, especially given everything that was going into the game, especially Alabama really wanted to win that game, the Charles Bediako thing and everything. Turns out Charles Bediako would have been about the fourth best big on the court that day.
No doubt. The crowd was fantastic. 72 points in the paint. I don't think I've ever seen that before in any basketball game of the thousands that I've covered over my career.
And 26 for Alabama. So it was so lopsided. And when you get numbers like that, you can start masking some of the deficiencies around the perimeter when it comes to the game. They only made 3 threes. Alabama made 14, and still they blow them out by 23 points. It was just an overwhelming, dominant performance by these bigs, by 2 in particular.
No doubt. Ruben Chinyelu is a National Player of the Week as a result. He picked up his 13th double-double of the season. And now Chinyelu is just 2 rebounds shy of 250 for this season. He'd become just the third Gator this century to go back-to-back seasons of having 250 or more rebounds, and it's Al Horford and Joakim Noah as the other 2 in that club. Well-deserved honor for Chinyelu, who continues to impress on both ends of the floor.
Both ends of the floor, and that sequence where he had to guard LeBaron Philon and then switched off on Latrell Wrightsell Jr., just went viral on social media, obviously. When you have a guy who's 6'10 and a half, who's 265 pounds, and he literally is glued to 2 outstanding, I mean, Philon's going to play in the NBA next year. And he just could not shake that guy. And when he finally turned to Wrightsell tried a step back on him and then had to go to Euro because he was right in his face and got the travel call. It was as elite as any defensive sequence you're going to see in a college basketball season, maybe in several college basketball seasons. It's funny. I was in a training room yesterday, and I went up to Ruben, and I said, Ruben, National Player of the Week, you couldn't even get SEC Player of the Week, right? And you're about to get to that in a minute. But he looks at me, he goes, it's okay, we win anyway.
Yeah, but that's Ruben Chinyelu for you.
That's right.
And, of course, yes, he was a National Player of the Week, but the Gators are represented in the SEC Player of the Week in co-fashion here because of the play of Alex Condon. Condon had a career-high 27 against Alabama last year. All he did this year was back it up with 25 in this most recent outing.
He doesn't get enough credit for that. Then you look at his assist rate. He's the second best assist leader on the team in conference play. He's really responded from that Auburn performance, which people are going to point to. But my goodness gracious, he was fantastic, high and low, just with his moves in the post and just his activity down there and chasing balls and stuff that he does.
No doubt. 7-2 now, as we mentioned, in conference play. The Gators had this bye week, Chris. I'm curious, in your role as a Gators insider, how did the Gators spend this time without the midweek game?
Well, they took Monday off, as they should have, especially with the weird Sunday game or whatever. Did more individual instruction stuff. Played a little bit on Wednesday, very, very, very little bit. They're going to do a lot more on Thursday, but I think it's ideal when you're playing this well to go, especially with a game with the magnitude, with SEC regular season championship ramifications, to have that midweek bye, and especially with A&M playing at Alabama on a Wednesday, it's a short week for them coming home.
No doubt. The Aggies lost on the road at Alabama, but as Chris mentioned, this will be a battle for first place on Saturday night in College Station. Both teams now 7-2 in conference play. Couple of notes about the Aggies. They are the second highest scoring offense in the SEC. And in their first year under a new head coach, They play a very unique style of defense, trying to pick you up full court, but in a non-traditional way. What else should we know about Texas A&M?
Unique style of offense, too, because they're going to shoot a bunch of threes. It's going to be a 94-foot game. It's really a fascinating study what Bucky McMillan has been able to do. He was a high school coach in Birmingham. Sanford University took a chance on him and hired him. Over 5 years, he won 99 games, went to the NCAA tournament, and came up with this Bucky ball. Now it's, old Kentucky basketball, baseline to baseline, full court pressing and everything. And we just talked about Boogie Flan and his ability to take care of the ball. Paramount this year. The Gators, if they can get the ball into half court and start playing their offense, they were a much bigger team than Texas A&M. But if you turn the ball over against a team like this, they can spread you out in the open floor and they shoot a bunch of threes. I think 48% of their shots in SEC play have been three-point attempts.
No doubt.
And they lead the league in percentage.
They do.
Yes.
And it was an Alabama team, by the way, that the Gators last met. They were up near the top of the conference at 12.4 made threes per game. The Gators held Alabama well off that mark. Perhaps they can do the same thing against Texas A&M. It's interesting, in the 16 wins now for the Gators this season, 14 of those 16 wins have come by 13 or more points. Yet, though, under Todd Golden, this matchup with Texas A&M seems to be squeaky tight. And I'm wondering if you envision a tight game on Saturday night.
Well, I do envision a tight game. I envision a maniacal atmosphere. You and I have been, Vanderbilt was incredible atmosphere, wasn't it? These road trips for the reigning national champion are going to be that way. And A&M's going to show up. We've been in Arena, Winston rocking before. But the way the ramifications of this game, I don't think anyone would have expected earlier in the season, if we were circling Saturday night games when Florida's playing Tennessee and Arkansas and Kentucky and Auburn and Alabama, that this game would be one of the linchpin games of the season to decide the conference title.
We're just past the halfway mark, and it is a pivotal moment here with a tip-off scheduled for 8:30 Eastern Time on Saturday night. Television coverage on SEC Plus, and, of course, radio coverage on the Gator Sports Network from Learfield. Chris, thanks. Enjoy the ball game this Saturday.
Thanks, Sean. See you there.
For Chris Harry, I'm Sean Kelley. That's been Gators Insider, presented by Talon Wealth.